This is the story of a ghost, a man who once shook the world with a single bullet, then disappeared. Welcome to our cinematic breakdown of American Sniper The Last Round, the exclusive ReelShort series starring Mark Hermann as Carl Oliver, the man the world called the King of Guns. In this video, we'll dive deep into this series. We'll break down the story, the characters, the hidden symbolism, and why this show has taken ReelShort by storm. This is American Sniper The Last Round Explained. Before the series begins, Carl Oliver was already a legend, a decorated American sniper who shattered the world record for the longest confirmed kill. On the battlefield, he was feared, respected, untouchable. But at the peak of his fame, he vanished. No interviews, no farewell speech, no trace. He became a rumor, a myth, a whisper soldiers tell rookies to inspire them. Until one day, he quietly walked into a local shooting range and asked for a job. Not as an instructor, not as a consultant, not as a trainer. He became the maintenance guy. And no one, absolutely no one, knew who he really was. The shooting range is owned by Jan Valentine, played brilliantly by Addison Bowman, a widow doing everything she can to keep her family business alive. She runs the range with her daughter, Rebecca, who sees Carl as a quiet, mysterious uncle figure. But peace doesn't last long. The shooting club's captain, Albert, mocks Carl, humiliates him, orders him around like he's nothing. He wipes floors, he fixes pipes, he empties trash bins. And every single time, Albert sneers at him. But Carl takes it up all. Because when you started death in the eyes, the insults of small men mean nothing. Jan's range is under attack, not physically, but financially. A ruthless competitor wants to take over the property. They pressure her, threaten her, sabotage her equipment. Hank Smith, Chris Redford, Alex Weston, each of them part of the hostile takeover plan. But Jan refuses to sell. She has too much pride, too much history here, and Carl watches all of this from the sidelines, silently, because he promised himself never to fire a gun again. He promised himself that his days of killing were over. One day, everything changes. Rebecca, Jane's daughter, is pushed in danger by the rival group. A reckless bully from the takeover faction fires a round that nearly hits her. And that is when Carl snaps. For the first time in years, he picks up a rifle, and in a single motion, he fires one bullet. The shot is so precise, so impossibly perfect, it freezes the entire room. Albert, the club captain, turns pale. The hostile takeover members cheer in shock, and whispers begin. Who the hell is this guy? No one can shoot like that. Is that him? The ghost was becoming visible again. Chris Redford, a former soldier, recognizes the stance, the breathing pattern, the trigger discipline, and he says what everyone else is afraid to say. That's Carl Oliver, the king of guns. Jane is shocked. Rebecca is stunned. Albert nearly faints. The range's quiet janitor is the greatest sniper ever recorded. And now the hostile takeover has a new problem, a living legend standing in their way. From here, the series becomes a full urban battlefield. Carl trains Jen, Carl trains Rebecca, Carl rebuilds the entire range, and Carl challenges the takeover members to public shooting competitions. One by one, he humiliates every rival marksman in the city. Nat Foster, Jeffrey Miller, Esther Ellis, Raquel Fisher, talented shooters who all fall before Carl's unmatched skill. But the more Carl wins, the more enemies he makes. The takeover group raises the stakes, they sabotage equipment, they send thugs, they threaten Jane's life, and Carl is forced to confront the part of himself he tried to bury, the soldier, the protector, the killer. In the series finale, the takeover escalates into full violence. The rival shooters bring illegal weapons into the range. Jane and Rebecca are cornered. Carl steps forward, calm as ice, holding a single sniper rifle, and he delivers the line that defines the entire series. He wants the king of guns, here I am. What follow is the most intense sequence in the entire 63 episode series. Carl systematically dismantles the takeover group without killing a single person, using precision shots to disable weapons, disarm attackers, and protect Jane's family. It's surgical, it's genius, it's the work of a master. And at the end, Carl fires his final shot, the last round, a single bullet that ends the conflict and saves the shooting range forever. In the aftermath, Carl becomes a hero again, not for killing, but for protecting. Jane restores the range. Rebecca becomes a professional shooter under Carl's mentorship. Chris and Nate join the team. Albert finally shows Carl respect, and Carl, he finally stops running from his past. He accepts who he is, who he was, and who he wants to be. The King of Guns finds peace. This is the cinematic breakdown of American Sniper The Last Round. If you enjoyed this deep dive, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment below on which real short series you want next. Thanks for watching, and remember, legends don't disappear, they reload.